Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what I did to help an amazing Muslim coach in the US 5x her business. Now, alhamdulillah, in my Elite Baraka Circle, I give a 1 hour hot seat session to the members, which are all entrepreneurs from all across the world in that community. And the goal is to show them minimum a 5x pathway for them to follow in the next 12 months. So I'm going to show you exactly what we did with Sister, who is an expert trauma healing coach, who, mashallah, tabarakallah, with not much support or help of anyone, has been able not only to create a lot of great content and build an audience online, she also started a group coaching program that at the time that she came to me for the hot seat in October, was already on track to do 6 figures a year. Alhamdulillah. So this is what happened. I think, Sister, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister, how are you?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
And the work you're doing, firsthand, I've seen the need of it from women in my own life. So may Allah continue to bless you, increase you, and inshallah allow you to scale your work so you can help more and more and more sisters, inshallah. So let me break down where the business was at. So she was running cohorts of 6 people, and this runs for 3 months. Now each person was paying $2,700. So that means that this business at the moment, the maximum that it can do is 48 people per year, which is roughly $129,000. That was the max. Now, this really upset me. She is such an incredible coach with an amazing track record, and there are so many sisters coming to her for help. Many are suffering from trauma related to the childhood, relationships, toxic relationships, marriage breakdown. There's a lot of sisters in need, and she wasn't able to help more than 48 people a year. For me, that was tragic. Your goal is, to how many people would you love to, in 3 years from now, if everything went incredibly well, how many people would you like to be able to work with every year, assuming you have the systems, the help, the team, everything in place?
I have no clue. That's something I haven't thought about, because my brain is still stuck in that. Am I working with them individually? That's a lot of people to work with, especially with trauma is a very draining thing to work on, and so I have to be mindful of my energy. But I think hundreds. I would love to be able to say I have a community of hundreds of women each year that are dedicated to healing trauma. It's a very different world of like they're trying to do healing work versus they're really jumping into it and say like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to integrate and make sure generational trauma ends with me.
And in fact, this was the crux of the problem, which is she didn't know how to scale beyond this without having to burn out. And bear in mind that this sister is also working full-time as a physician associate in the US. So already what she's accomplished is incredible, mashallah, tabarakallah. So I then asked her a question. If you had 100 Muslim women right now ready to join your program, desperately seeking some help, ready to pay right now, how would you deal with that right now? 100 ladies.
As of now, they'd have to go on a wait list because I just simply don't have the capacity to do it as 100 people in 3 months.
So what is the solution? How do we go from 48 people a year to 200 people a year? That is exactly what I showed her. Now, not only do we want to get there, but we want to get there without having to work more. In fact, I want her to work less, because if she wants to expand her family, she wants to have plenty of time for that. So the only way to do this is leverage. The first thing that I asked her was, is there a set of information that every person that joins the program needs to go through and learn, and that you find yourself repeating over and over and over and over again?
Yes. It's all structured out. There's an educational component.
So we identified that there were certain things that she was repeating. Every time there's a new batch of clients, a group of 6, cohort of 6, she's repeating certain things. And then she's obviously doing life coaching, which is more personalized, and there's a lot of conversation and questions that happen. But there was a massive chunk of information that she was repeating live every single time. So this is where I told her that she must leverage video. Everything that you find yourself repeating over and over and over and over and over, we're going to turn that into pre-recorded content. And that alone is going to save her at least, I think it was about 5 to 7 hours per week of live coaching. So already we are removing the time investment that she's making. The next thing that I mentioned to her is that you must turn this into a machine that runs without you. Why? I want to help you build a machine where the machine is running, and ideally running with minimal input, and also possibly even without you one day. Why? Is because we don't want all of these women to stop benefiting if you are unwell, or if you are on holiday, or if you, God forbid, in your barzakh. What happens when you're ill? What happens if you want to expand your family? What happens if you want to go on Umrah, if you want to go on a holiday? Does that mean that sisters who are in need of your services and your coaching and your expertise, they will miss out? That's not something we can afford. So you want to design this business, this coaching program, as a machine that runs without you. That was a major breakthrough that was important for her to understand. The other thing that she does with the group is coaching calls.
If I'm expanding the number of women in like a coaching call, content has been made, a course that they go through, alongside the live coaching, is how do I do it in a way that still offers like tremendous benefit?
Group coaching, and that is obviously unique with every cohort. There'll be different questions. So now the question is, how do you replace yourself from the coaching? And the answer is simple. You clone yourself. What if we were able to clone you and have 2 groups running simultaneously? Would that work?
That would work, yeah.
You get someone else to do those coaching sessions. You can go in if you want to, but in the program, there needs to be eventually, maybe not right away, someone else who's doing that coaching, who maybe another trained coach who doesn't mind making a little bit of extra income. Maybe someone from your own program who has done incredibly well, who loves the transformation and the transformational work that you're doing, that wants to be trained to become the coach. In my academy, that's exactly what we did. My top student and mentee then became the coach, and that works really, really, really well. So doing this now saves another 5 to 7 hours per week. But this doesn't necessarily help grow the business, because there was another major bottleneck. The fact that if 200 people were to want to join, she wouldn't physically be able to handle it, because she's still doing sales calls. Okay, yes, so that's an option. That'd be absolutely an option. Is, can we do it? Can we design the funnel where there's no need of a sales call? And to be honest, for a product which is less than $3,000, a sales call may not even be needed. What you might need is a very powerful experience that you deliver. I'm not talking about a webinar like a lot of people do. They do a quick webinar and do a sales pitch. I think those days are over. I do a live 4-hour experience with people every 2 weeks, and I could my program is a little bit more expensive. It's like 20,000, but if it was 3,000, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the 4 hours, if I gave the link, they would buy. I wouldn't even have to ask. So when somebody wants to join the program or is interested, she takes them on a sales call, half an hour, 45 minutes, and that obviously is not scalable. So again, we discussed two options. One option is to remove the need of sales calls. How? By creating a kind of experience or a workshop of a live event where they get so much value, so much transformation in that they don't need to be sold on a call. They're ready to join. They're ready to just click and pay. That's one option. But the other option is to have someone else do the sales calls. So have a closer, okay, without sales calls. But there is another solution to this, which is the same thing as what we mentioned before, deploying some leverage.
Sales team, is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. And I'll tell you something. I used to have the same problem, which is I thought I had to do all of the sales calls. I thought no one else can do this better than me. How will they be able to do it better than me? No, and it makes no sense for someone else to be able to do it better than me. But a point came where because of all of the sales calls, I wasn't able to give my best self to my existing coaches. And that's when I realized, no, something needs to happen. And that's what, through mentoring, I then brought on my first closer. So this is someone who has been trained on how to close, and they do the closing. And let me tell you what, their closing rate is higher than mine.
Okay.
You know why? Do you know why? It's because they are a professional closer. I'm not. I'm a coach. I love to teach. I love to help. I love to listen. The closing is a skill. And there's definitely people out there who can do it better than us because they've been doing it for like 5 years. All they do is close. So that's possibly another thing you want to start testing. Two things, and maybe not immediately, but we want to deploy some leverage here as well. Have someone else take those calls, and there are trained closers who are able to do this even better than us as coaches. So now, doing all of these things, firstly leveraging video, secondly slowly starting to train someone else or find someone else to do the weekly coaching calls, and also bring someone in to do the closing. This, when I asked her, is it now realistic for you to be able to serve 200 sisters a year? And in the future, we want that to be thousands of sisters a year. Annually, you're helping 200 Muslim women. This is the goal for year 3. And by year 5, that needs to be 1,000 women a year.
I believe I'd be able to figure this out, inshallah.
Because the machine can be scaled. She said that 200 is doable, which basically means going from a maximum cap of 48 to 200 in a matter of 12 months, which would take her from $129,000 to $700,000. We actually also discussed the importance of raising the price a little bit every 6 months, to increase the price a little bit. So this gave her a very clear path to do a 5x in 12 months. Now, alhamdulillah, we actually had the opportunity to meet this wonderful sister and her husband when I visited New York recently. And mashallah, in literally 5 weeks, in terms of the time where we had the hot seat session to the time where we met, she's already done a 2x. Allahumma barik. So happy to see that. So this is the kind of transformational growth that is possible. But sometimes people think 5x in 12 months, you must be dreaming. No, it's very doable. Very, very doable. You just have to understand how to release that potential from your business, how to remove the constraints, and how to use leverage. Now, one thing that's important is that because of the work she's doing on social media, she has a very healthy influx of clients. Her only problem was being in a position to be able to serve them all. And her worry was, I want to scale, but I don't want to do more work. I don't want to burn out. So alhamdulillah, we were able to show her how to do a 5x in revenue with actually working less hours on a weekly basis. So if you have found value in this video, I appreciate if you would leave a comment below. Obviously, like the video and share it with someone that could benefit from these insights. And I hope to see you in our Barakah Circle, inshallah, where we can do more of this work together. Until the next video, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.